الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي نور قلوب العارفين بنور معرفته وأثبت فؤاد أنبيائه وأوليائه بقصص الأنبياء والمرسلين وأكمل إيمان المسلمين والمؤمنين بولاية علي أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على أفضل الموجودات العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد أعني أبا القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى روحه ونفسه وصهره ووصيه سيد الأتقياء والأصفياء مولى الموالي إمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب وعلى أوصيائه لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه الكريم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنك لعلى خلق عظيم صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وعلى Tonight will be the night for the sad demise of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. According to the riwayat of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, 28th of Safar is the day when the Holy Prophet parted this world. Is also the date for the martyrdom of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. So today I'll be talking about the life of the Holy Prophet, and tomorrow I'll talk about the life of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. And on Sunday, is there an English lecture as well? Probably, inshallah. Alaikum assalam. There are many aspects of the life of the Holy Prophet that we as Muslims must consider and must try and understand. The Holy Prophet, when he went to Mi'raj, the Almighty said, Ya Ahmad, because in the heavens his name is Ahmad, and on earth his name is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him, Ya Ahmad, why do you think I chose you over all of my prophets? Why did I give you precedence over all my prophets? I chose you to be the master of all the prophets. Look at the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet, look at his etiquettes. He does not say, yes, I know the answer and I'll tell you. He says, Allahu A'lam. Allah knows best. You know, Allah, why you chose me. He said, one of the reasons why I chose you is that you have the best akhlaq. You have the best etiquette, the conduct. Even though he created the heavens and the earth for the Holy Prophet, but he gave him the best akhlaq. He says that you have the best conduct. You are the chosen one. Why? Because of your akhlaq. إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Indeed, the Holy Prophet has the best of the manners. And this is the only aspect that I would like to talk about tonight, if I have everyone's attention. Few years back in Hajj, I was translating for one of the big scholars from Iran, and many doctors had come and they were asking the scholar, how should we preach? How should we do tabligh? So the scholar said, you're all doctors. Look at the Christianity, they send doctors and nurses for missionary work. He said, recently, this is Ayatollah Ibrahim Amini I'm talking about. He said, I had a class organized for me in Tehran. And all converts had come, reverts to Islam. I sat down with them and I was giving them a lecture. They said, tomorrow you have a lecture with reverts, so please come prepared. So he said, all night I prepared a lecture for converts. He said, when I was teaching, in the middle of the lecture, one of the students picked up his hand and he said, I want to ask a question. He said, yes, please tell me your question. He said, when I listened to the question, I realized that this is a very basic question. This person doesn't have in-depth study of the Holy Quran. The lecture I have been giving for 20 minutes is very deep. This person, if he doesn't even understand this, he probably doesn't understand any of my lecture. So he said, can you tell me how you converted? He said, well, my neighbor was very nice, and because of the akhlaq of my neighbor, they used to continuously send me things over, and I asked them, why do you do this? So the neighbors told me that because we are Muslims and our prophet is Prophet Muhammad, he has taught us to be nice to your neighbors. He said, well, I wanted to be like my neighbors, they were so nice. I started studying Islam and I converted. Very basic study, but because of the akhlaq of Muslims. Everyone paying attention to this point. So he says, I converted. So he said, I asked each and every person that was present in that conference or that session, why did they all convert? I realized that none of them had in-depth study or research about Islam. They all converted because of the good conduct of Muslims, good akhlaq of Muslims. He said, then I read the Holy Quran's ayat. لَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. O my messenger, had you been of bad conduct, your akhlaq wasn't good enough, they would have all left you. You have attracted each one of these people because of your good conduct, your akhlaq. Today, if you want to preach, do not preach them about beliefs and practices. Just preach them. Do not preach them with your tongue, but with your actions, with your akhlaq. The biggest preaching today is with akhlaq, with conduct. It is the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet that attracted all the people who were mushrikeen to become Muslims. I want to give you a few examples of the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet. Many times, Muslims always give examples to the other people that you should have good conduct, and they don't have any akhlaq themselves. They say that if you send your child to, God forbid, a missionary school or a Catholic school, they have more akhlaq. If you send them to a religious school, they come out with no akhlaq. Paying attention, I hope you're not minding what I'm saying. Pay attention to this point. Anyone who studies Islam, the first thing they should acquire is good akhlaq. What is the best thing? What is the first thing that you can do in akhlaq? A smile on your face. Yes? A smiling face quickly enters your heart. A person who is from, I cannot describe, yes, trying to make a face, yes, looks really angry. No one wants to listen to that face. A smiling face is the key for your success. At an interview, when you enter, smile. May I come in, sir? Whenever smiling is the best thing. The Holy Prophet, kana da'iman yatabassam, he was always smiling. The criticism on Imam Ali alayhi salam from his enemies, all of his enemies said, Ya Ali, everything is perfect about you, but you're always smiling. Yes? One of the biggest enemies of Imam Ali alayhi salam, he said, Ya Ali, you're always smiling. That's what I don't like about you. He himself had a very bad akhlaq, the other person. I don't want to mention his name. He was always in a bad mood, but he said, Ya Ali, your criticism that I have is you're always smiling. People are running away in the battlefield, and you're still smiling. In the toughest of the times, you're smiling. Most difficult times, people are screaming and you're smiling. The Holy Prophet and Imam Ali, they were always smiling, yes? The key to your akhlaq is a smile on the face. No one ever saw the Holy Prophet laugh, but they always saw him smile. First thing, his akhlaq. The Holy Prophet was passing by some slaves. In olden days, they still had slavery, they hadn't abolished it yet. And the slaves said to the Holy Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, we wish we had a house. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he said, what would you do if you had a house? They all said, Ya Rasulullah, we would invite you to our house. If we had a house, we would invite you. He said, what's stopping you from inviting me? They said, Ya Rasulullah, we don't have a house. He said, no, invite me wherever you like, I'll still come. They said, Ya Rasulullah, we don't have a house, we sleep on the street. This is where we eat. He said, invite me here and I'll come. So they said, if we invite you to the street, will you come and eat with us? He said, yes. He said, but today we don't have good food. So the day we have a good food, we had some good food, we'll invite you. He said, no, I don't care if you don't have good food. Invite me, I'll come. They said, Ya Rasulullah, we invite you here today with this dry bread. We cannot even chew properly. Will you come and eat with us? He said, yes. They all got up and they said, Ya Rasulullah, we invite you. Come and eat. He sat down on the floor, on the street with all of those slaves. Yes. A lady was passing by. A slave is called abd in Arabic. She was passing by and she said to the Holy Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, ta'kulu kal abid. You eat like slaves. You eat like abd. He said, who would be a greater slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than myself? Who would be a greater slave of Allah? Arrogance is not a nice thing. So the Holy Prophet had no arrogance. First thing, smile. Second thing, no arrogance. He would collect himself when walking. Yes? He would hold his abba together. His shoulders down, his head down. He would not hit the floor when walking. He picked up his feet slowly and placed them on the ground. Nice, collected person. Do I have everyone's attention so far? I like to connect, I like to teach rather than just speak whatever I've memorized, say it and leave. No, I like to be communicative with my audience. The Holy Prophet ﷺ, when he walked, he did not walk with arrogance. He walked with his shoulders down. He looked down on the ground. He did not pick up his head, walk like kings and people who have a lot of arrogance. No, he put his shoulders and head down. One day the Holy Prophet in Medina, he had established his own state. He was the head of the state, And he was passing by and he saw there is a slave girl on the street, crying, weeping. So he said, what's wrong? Why are you crying? She said, I belong to a family and they gave me some dirham, some dinar, some Arabian money to buy something from the market. And I lost the money. So I'm now crying. If I go back home, they will say, oh no, you stole the money. So he asked her, how much did they give you? She said, 2 dirhams, 2 silver coins. So the Holy Prophet gave her the 2 silver coins. He said, okay, here, go and buy whatever they asked you to buy. So she collected the 2 dirham from the Holy Prophet and left. The Holy Prophet also was going somewhere, so he also left. When the Holy Prophet came back again, he saw that she is sitting there crying. So the Holy Prophet said, what's wrong now? You have the stuff, why don't you go back home? She said, yes, I know, I bought everything, but I am now late. They will say, why did you come so late? So the Holy Prophet ﷺ said to the girl, he said, are they Muslims? Do they believe in me? Why is he asking? He's teaching her something. Do they believe in me? Yes, they're all Muslims. He said, come with me, I'll take you to the house. I'll speak to them. The Holy Prophet came on the house and loudly said, Assalamu alaikum ya Ahlul Bayt. Oh, people of this household, salutations be upon you. People heard the Holy Prophet say salam. They did not reply. So the Holy Prophet said second time, Assalamu alaikum ya Ahlul. Oh, people of this household, salutations be upon you. Third time when he said, oh people of this house, salutations, they all came running. The man, his wife, children, everyone came. He said, wa alaikum assalam ya Rasulullah. The Holy Prophet said, did you not hear me the first time, the second time when I said salam? They said, yes ya Rasulullah, we all heard that you've come. But because we knew it was you, the messenger of Allah has come to our door saying salams to us, we wanted you to repeat it so we hear you say salam to us. Ordinary people. He said, you all believe in me? Yes. This slave girl is late. I came to do shafa'at for her. I came to do intercession. Like in Urdu and Farsi, which is sifarish. Shafa'at in the hereafter, the Holy Prophet will do. Yes? Intercession. Will you accept my intercession? The Holy Prophet asked. Do you accept my shafa'at? They said, yes, Ya Rasulullah, we accept, we're all Muslims. Because of your shafa'at, we have now freed this slave girl. She's a free woman. This is the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet. For an ordinary slave girl or a servant, he goes and does intercession. He does shafa'at. Can you imagine? This is our Prophet. Can you imagine one other person who has his own state, has his own government, is the leader of the government, and goes and protects an ordinary servant? This is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet. Can you imagine the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet? So first thing he says, smile. Secondly, do not have arrogance. Shall I continue with the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet? First thing, smile. Second, no arrogance. Third, do not have greed. Do not have greed. As soon as I said do not have greed, so they are now testing your generosity. Okay, be generous when you're donating. Say aloud salawat. Now this is the akhlaq of the Holy Prophet. He was training his companions, Sahaba. So one Sahabi was sitting down, very poor person, he had no wealth. He had a lot of poor companions, yes? People who had no wealth. And he had some rich companions as well. So the Holy Prophet was speaking from the pulpit, or he was probably sitting on the floor in Masjid al-Nabawi, and a rich companion was sitting down in front, right in front of the Holy Prophet. You know, his abba, his dress was very expensive, very lavish. He was sitting, and suddenly a poor companion came and sat down right next to that rich companion. He was wearing big abba, so, the rich companion, so the abba was spread out, and the poor companion came and sat. So the rich companion started pulling his abba. Yes, he pulled it in case this poor person, this person who has no wealth, he sits on the abba of this rich companion. As soon as he pulled his abba, the Holy Prophet noticed. The Holy Prophet said to that rich companion, he said, do you think your wealth would have gone to him had he sat on your abba? Do you think your money would have transferred? Your bank balance would transfer. He didn't say it like that, but he said, do you think your money would transfer to him had he sat on your abba, or he sat down next to you? When he saw the Holy Prophet, who would never turn red, that he had turned red, and he's not pleased with this man, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I will give half of my wealth to this person if he forgives me. I ask you for forgiveness, and if this man who is a poor person, I know he doesn't have anything, I'll give him half of my wealth. I'll literally give half of my wealth to him. He first asked the Holy Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, forgive me. He said, no, ask from this person for forgiveness. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I'll give him half of my wealth if he forgives me. The Holy Prophet said to the poor companion, he said, will you accept half of his wealth to forgive him? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I forgive him without the wealth. I don't want anything from him. I forgive him. I'm used to of this treatment. All rich people treat me like this. So the Holy Prophet said, he forgives you without your wealth. So the rich companion said, Ya Rasulullah, ask him, why does he not want half of my wealth? I'm giving it with pleasure. He said he wants to know, why aren't you not accepting half of his wealth? He said, Ya Rasulullah, I fear that if I take half of his wealth, I'll become like him as well. I'll become arrogant. I'll have greed. I just want my own akhlaq that I've taken from you, but I don't want the wealth. You see the point? This is the training of the Holy Prophet, the tarbiyah. He was the greatest murabbi. No arrogance, no greed. Third aspect, well, smile is the first, is the key. Do you all promise that inshallah you will now keep a smile on your face whenever inshallah you're outside? Inshallah. The ladies did, but the gents are just looking at me. Okay? Have good akhlaq. Whenever you're outside, whenever you go to the shop, don't say, what is this? How much? Smile. I promise you it will make all the difference. Whenever you go to the shop and say, how much is this? Even if that person is upset or in bad mood, you will change their mood. If you're a positive person, you give positive vibrance. You always transfer that positivity to other people. And if you're a negative person, even if a person is in good mood, you say, how much is this? You will change their mood as well. Yes? Listen to this hadith. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is passing by, and there are young Muslim men who are picking up rocks. You know, in olden days, they had no proper weights. Yes? These days you have lifting bars to find out who can lift the highest weight. Do they not have them in New Zealand? Yes? You know, they have bars and weights on the sides to try and find out who is the strongest. A person can lift 100 kilos, 200, you know. In olden days, they had no proper weights. So they would pick up rocks, big rocks. Young men trying to find out who is the strongest one. So they're all trying to lift, who lifts the biggest rock. So the Holy Prophet was passing by. He said, what are you doing, young men? They said, Ya Rasulullah, we're trying to find out who is the strongest one of us. He said, what if I decided for you who is the strongest one? Will you accept? They said, Ya Rasulullah, we're all Muslims. We accept your decision. We haven't seen the paradise. You said there is paradise, there is Jannah, we believed. We haven't seen the hellfire. You said there is Jahannam, you know, we believed. Nar. You said there is Sarat. We believe in everything. Why will we not accept your decision if you say who is the strongest one? He said, okay, let me tell you who is the strongest man. He said, the strongest man is he who, when pleased, does not displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did you all get it? When pleased, when he's happy, he does not displease Allah. You know, when we are happy, we go out of control. Yes? He says, no, when you're pleased, do not do anything to displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't start jumping, dancing, thing that you're out of control. Oh, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you so, oh, I'm over the moon, I'm happy. No, be in control, contain yourself. Yes? So the Holy Prophet said, the strongest man is he, when pleased, does not displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When displeased, does not displease the creation of Allah. When displeased, you know, when we're angry, someone says, what's wrong? You say something, you upset them as well. Yes? Well, not you, but some people. So when you're angry, you say something, that other people also become angry. He said, the Holy Prophet says, the strongest man who has these three qualities. First, when pleased, does not displease Allah. When displeased, does not displease the creation of Allah. And when in power, when they have some sort of power, they are in control, they do not take more than what they deserve. That's the strongest person. Yes, everyone? Do not take more than what you deserve when in power. According to us, definitions of things may be different, but according to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, the definitions are different. The Holy Prophet was asked, Ya Rasulullah, which companion is the bravest? Who is the bravest person? Who is the bravest man? He said, ask Ali. Because he was the lion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes? Who do you think is the bravest man? These days, you know, the biggest bully in the school is the people usually think, oh, he's the most bully, he's the bravest. No, not the bully. Look at Imam Ali alayhi salam. He defines for you the bravest man. Are you listening? Or do you want to listen? You know, the lion of Allah, Asadullah al-Ghalib, the greatest lion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ever, the Holy Prophet says. Asadullah al-Ghalib. There are many Asadullah, lion of Allah. Hamza is Asadullah. Ja'far is Asadullah. Abbas alayhi salam, you know, they're all Asadullah. But only Ali is Asadullah al-Ghalib. Okay, he's the only Asadullah al-Ghalib. Meaning he overcomes all of the Asads of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's Asadullah al-Ghalib. Okay? They said, Ya Ali, who is the bravest man? He said, Ashja'un nasi man khalafa hawahu. The bravest man is he who goes against his evil desires. Not the bully of the school. The one who bullies everyone. No, that's not the bravest man. The bravest man is he who goes against his evil desires. Everyone paying attention? Have you heard of Battle of Trenches? Battle of Khandaq? Yes? Imam Ali fought against Amr ibn Abdawud. Yes? A man who used to kill all people. When he once broke his stick, he picked up a baby camel and started hitting the people with the baby camel. Yes? That's how strong he was. He could lift animals. Very strong. The Holy Prophet says, ضَرْبَةُ عَلِيٍّ مِّن يَوْمِ الْخَنْدَقِ أَفْضَلُ مِنْ عِبَادَةِ ثَقَلَيْنِ. One stroke of Ali ibn Abi Talib, one stroke of Ali ibn Abi Talib is better than all of the acts of worship, all of the ibadat of Thaqlain, men and jinn. One stroke. How many did he strike? 70. In Battle of Khandaq, he hit 70. The Holy Prophet says only one is better than ضَرْبَةُ عَلِيٍّ مِّن يَوْمِ الْخَنْدَقِ. One strike, one stroke of Ali ibn Abi Talib is better than all of the ibadat of Thaqlain, all the jinn and men. Ayatollah Sheikh Hussain Mudahari, one of the greatest teachers of akhlaq in Qom, he says, which one? Ali hit 70 times in Khandaq, in the Battle of Trenches. 70 times. Which one? He says, I believe it is not the 70 that he hit, it is the one that he stopped. One he stopped. You know when Amr ibn Abdawud disrespected Imam Ali alayhi salam, when Imam Ali was about to kill him, he spat on Imam Ali's face. So Imam Ali stopped. He got off his chest and he said, let me come back. You know, the second Khalifa, Umar, he said, Ya Ali, it was so difficult to throw him down, now you left him. He'll get up and kill us, kill him. He said, no, wait, move back. He went off and he came back and said, Allahu Akbar, then he killed him. They asked him, Ya Ali, why did you stop? He said, because when he disrespected me, I wanted to kill him on the spot. But then I said, no, I'm going to kill him qurbatan ilallah. So I got up and left, and I came back and I killed him for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then the Holy Prophet said, ضَرْبَةُ عَلِيٍّ مِّن يَوْمٍ خَنْدَقِ أَفْضَلُ مِنْ عِبَادَةِ ثَقْلَيْنِ. Do you understand? Not the one he hit, the one he stopped. He picked up his sword and he stopped. He said, no, I'll not hit. That one stroke is better than the ibadat of Thaqlain. Ashja'un nasi man khalafa hawa. Now do you understand why Imam Ali is the bravest man? Because he goes against his desires. He has full control. He's ma'soom. Fine, we cannot become like him, but at least we can follow. We can walk behind Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. This is the Holy Prophet. He says, ask Ali, he'll tell you who is the bravest person. Akhlaq of the Holy Prophet. Yes? No arrogance, no greed, no jealousy. Yes, everyone? He does not say, why does this person has that? Jealousy is that you don't want others to have something. You don't care if I have it or not. You don't want the others to have it. That's called envious, hasad. One is ghibta in Arabic, yes? Ghibta is to say that, okay, he has it, I also want it. Yes? And hasad is to, I don't care if I have it or not. I don't want that person to have it. Both are haram for against Ahlul Bayt. You cannot say, why don't I become like Ali? Or why did Ali have it? Both are not allowed. Did you all get it? You cannot have hatred and envious behavior against Ahlul Bayt. It is haram because Allah made them like that. And you cannot say, I wish I become like Ali. Because you cannot. Allah chose him to be like that. Okay? The Holy Prophet never had jealousy against him. He says, don't have jealousy. Al-hasadu ya'kulul hasanat kama ta'kulun narul hatab. Jealousy eats up all good deeds like fire eats up dry wood. Yes? Jealousy is very bad. Do I have everyone's attention? Yes. Another 10, 15, 20 minutes? Probably okay, 15 I'll try. I'll try and wind up everything. Okay, everyone pay attention. So the Holy Prophet says 4 things, 3 things are key, but 4 I'll quickly count. So don't have arrogance, takabbur. Don't have greed, and don't have jealousy. Imam Ali says that in Kufa there was a person who was envious with his neighbor. So he said, I can't stand my neighbor having anything. Everyone praises my neighbor. So what should I do? So he told his servant, he said, okay, kill me one day on the roof of the neighbor, tie my hands and my legs, kill me, and run away. He said, what will that do? He said, the people will think the neighbor killed me, and they'll hang him. So long as the neighbor dies, I'm happy if I die. Can you imagine? So the servant took him over to the house of the neighbor. On the roof, he tied his hands and legs and cut his neck, and quickly ran away. So the people found the body and they said, oh, the neighbor must have killed the person. On the way, when they caught the neighbor, they were taking him to Imam Ali. Imam Ali said, wait, he's not the murderer. He said, Ya Ali, the body has been found on his roof. He said, wait, soon you will find out. Suddenly they see the slave coming back. He said, well, I felt really bad. He's not the murderer. My master ordered me to murder him. So they said, Ya Ali, who gets the punishment now? The neighbor, he said, well, the neighbor is innocent. He doesn't get any punishment. He said, what about the servant? He said, he doesn't get any punishment either. Why? He said, because he obeyed his master, and secondly, he saved a life. Man qatala nafsan bighayri nafsin aw fasadin fil ard fakannama qatala an-nasa jami'an. Whoever murders one person has killed the whole of humanity, but whoever saves one life has saved the whole of humanity. This person, yes, did kill because of the order of the master, but he also saved the innocent neighbor. The man died because of jealousy, killed with his own order, couldn't even do anything to his neighbor. Neighbor just walked away free. So don't have jealousy. It only kills you, destroys you. Doesn't kill anyone. Yes? Only you burn inside with jealousy. Who burns? Who do you punish? Do you punish the person who you envy? No. You only punish yourself. So what's the point of jealousy? Yes, everyone? How do you remove takabbur, kibr? Yes? Number one, sit on the floor and eat. It removes kibr, takabbur. It removes arrogance. Secondly, when you sit with friends, allow them to speak before you. If you have arrogance, you say, hey, hang on, don't you know who's speaking? Let me finish first. Tell yourself, no, the others are more important. Yes? Let them speak. Let your peers speak before you. Don't wear new clothes if you have a lot of arrogance, kibr. Don't wear new clothes. Salman al-Farisi, yes. They asked him, Salman, why don't you wear new clothes? He said, I'll wear new clothes the day I'm freed, meaning the day I die. Kafan, the shroud will be new. I want to save myself from arrogance. Yes, everyone? So many solutions to arrogance. Also, read prayers. They say people who do not pray, they become arrogant. Sajda saves you from arrogance. Sujood. Dua, make a lot of dua. People who have arrogance, they don't want to ask anyone for anything. Yes? So make a lot of dua against your own nafs, so you don't have arrogance. Secondly, even on dinner table, don't eat or drink anything yourself. Say to someone else, can you pass me the water? Can you pass me even though it is right in front of you. One, they get the thawab, and don't allow them to eat themselves. Let me serve you. It takes away arrogance. Yes, everyone? These are Islamic etiquettes. How do you remove greed? People who are greedy usually don't have any generosity. They can't spend. So don't spend $100 the first day, otherwise you'll have a heart attack or something. People who are greedy can't spend. They want to hold on. So start off with a few cents, then 50 cents. I don't know, do you have cents here or what do you have? And then give $1. Don't so slowly you change the habit. Child, tell them from early age, learn to share. Don't eat by yourself. Learn to share. Eat with other people. Serve other people. It removes greed. I'm giving you solutions. So the Holy Prophet says, adapt all of these qualities. Third, jealousy. Usually if you have jealousy against someone, you'll backbite them, you'll speak against them. So try and praise them. Very difficult, but yes, try and say, no, they are good. They are fine. Don't backbite them. And always remember, if you backbite a person, then you give away your good deeds to them. That's not what you want to do. You want to take their deeds to you. Yes? So by backbiting, you're giving your good deeds to them. So don't backbite them. And sometimes jealousy has 3 levels. One is in the heart, a grudge. You hold a grudge against them. Second, you backbite them by tongue. Third, you want to hit them, you want to do something against them, yes? So hold the first, don't allow the third to come. Say aloud, salawat wa Muhammad and ali Muhammad. Can I have a better salawat with everyone reciting it, please? So the Holy Prophet had the best akhlaq. Best akhlaq was the Holy Prophet. He was rahmatan lil alameen. He would always be smiling to people and always be nice to everyone. He was the best Prophet, so he was best to the companions, he was best to his children. Whenever his daughter walked in, he would stand up. So the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, is it wajib to also show respect to your children? He said, no, unless someone has a daughter like Fatimatu Zahra, salamu alayha. So it is important that we adapt some good qualities. How we walk, how we talk, screaming, shouting loudly in the playground is not a good habit. To contain your voice, to talk to someone nicely. Do not be abusive. Do not use foul language. These all have bad impact on your soul. The Holy Prophet was the purest of the people, the best of the creation. In his akhlaq, people saw that with all of his companions, even the ones who did not have any akhlaq, even with them he was talking with akhlaq. Let me give you one more story before I conclude. Say aloud salawat ala Muhammad wa ala. The life of the Holy Prophet has gone through so many difficulties. You know, when he went to Taif, a small city near Mecca, he went to Taif to preach. People stoned him. People were throwing stones at the Holy Prophet. He did not once pray against the people. He did not do but dua. He did not say, oh Allah, send your punishment. Jibreel alayhi salam came down and said, Ya Rasulullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do you want me to punish these people in Taif? He said, no. Allah is Arhamur Rahimeen. But he loves the Holy Prophet so much, he cannot bear that the people are stoning his messenger. He says, shall I punish them? He said, no, these people don't know me. That's why they're stoning me. Wait until they find out. Other prophets, you know, they prayed to Allah, Allah, send your punishment. The Holy Prophet says, no, Allah, wait for don't send your punishment. He is Rahmatan lil Alameen. But the Riwayah says the day the Holy Prophet was walking back or from Taif, he wasn't thinking about himself, that I am now bleeding from head to toe. He said that was the worst day of my life, when children threw stones at me. From my head to toe, I had marks on my body. You know what he was thinking? How am I going to tell my daughter Fatima that no one cares about your father? You know, daughters cannot bear the pain. And Fatima Zahra was only 6. Her mother had passed away, and the Holy Prophet was not thinking about himself. You see, he is Ra'ufur Rahim. وَبِالْ مُؤْمِنِينَ Ra'ufur Rahim. He is very merciful to mu'mineen. Ra'fat is to be raqiqul qalb, to have a soft heart. You know, when you care about other people, when you care about yourself, you're alive. When you care about other people, then you're a human being, then you're a merciful person, a believer. So the Holy Prophet, when he was coming back to his house, he was in tears. How am I going to tell my daughter Fatima? What will she think? So when he came home, he saw that his daughter is standing behind the door, waiting for the Prophet. As soon as he opened the door, he walked in, and Hazrat Fatima Zahra looked at the Holy Prophet. She did not cry, she did not say anything. Father, have the people been hitting you? No, she says, Father, you seem very tired. It seems that you are tired. Shall I bring some water so you can wash your face? She quickly runs and brings some water. Baba, let me help you wash your face. Like mothers come and help children. So the Holy Prophet took some water and started pouring on his face. And when he had tears in his eyes, he looked at his daughter Fatima and said, Fatima, anti ummu abiha. You're not my daughter. You are the mother of your own father. You treat me like children. The Holy Prophet said, when I become tired of preaching all day long, when I come and look at my daughter once, only once, when I look at my daughter Fatima, when I look at her forehead, when I look at her face, it gives me so much strength that I want to go back and start preaching again. Ya Rasulullah, why? In olden days they had no respect for daughters. Why did you have so much strength? Why did you feel your daughter gives you strength? I believe that the Holy Prophet will say that whenever I look at my daughter Fatima, I see the light of 11 Imams on her forehead. One Hassan says, oh grandfather, you preach, we will come and save. Hussein says, oh grandfather, you preach, you deliver the message. I will give all of my children to save your faith. Oh grandfather, you preach, I will give my neck in your way to save your religion. The riwayat says that the Holy Prophet, when he was given the poison, he was in Medina. His daughter Fatima saw that both her sons, Hassan and Hussein, are embracing the Holy Prophet. They're on the chest of the Holy Prophet. The Holy Prophet is lying down, and both the grandsons, Hassan and Hussein, are on the chest of Imam Rasulullah. Hazrat Fatima to Zahra says, oh my sons, please come off my father's chest. They're very small, 7 and 6. Please come off, my father is unwell. The Holy Prophet says, Fatima, allow my grandsons to be with me. When I touch their chest and when they sleep on my chest, I feel less pain. I love my grandsons. Oh Fatima, allow my grandsons to be with me. Oh Fatima, I can see my grandsons die. I can see one's liver coming out, and I can see the other one's veins being slit. The last moments of the Holy Prophet, suddenly Hazrat Fatima to Zahra goes to the door and comes back. The Holy Prophet says, what's wrong? Why do you keep going to the door? She says, Father, there is an Arab. He keeps coming and says, I want to see the Holy Prophet. I want to see the Holy Prophet. Father, I tell him my father is unwell. He goes and comes back. The Holy Prophet said, Fatima, did you look at his face? She said, no, Father, I never look at the face of any man. I saw his feet, his dress told me that he's an Arab. The Holy Prophet said, Fatima, this is Malakul Maut, the angel of death. He takes permission from no person. He is only taking permission because of you. He has come to the door and says, Fatima, allow me to come and see the Prophet. This is angel of death, Malakul Maut. I always think, why did Malakul Maut knock on the door and take permission? He takes permission from no messenger, but at the door of the Holy Prophet, he says, oh Fatima, allow me, I want to see the Prophet. He's probably giving a message. Oh Muslims, do not destroy, do not burn down the door of Fatima after the Holy Prophet. This is the door where even the angel of death comes and takes permission. Oh Muslim, do not throw the door of Fatima. This is the house of the Holy Prophet, the household of the Holy Prophet. I would have ended here, but the body of the Holy Prophet for a few days laid there. Fatima to Zahra cried and said, how quickly have the Muslims forgotten my father? How quickly they have all decided to leave and decide about Khilafat, and no one comes to the house of the Holy Prophet and say that we want to pay homage to the household of the Holy Prophet. It was only Imam Ali alayhi salam who did ghusl and kafan and buried the Holy Prophet in the house of the Holy Prophet all by himself. There were only a few people who came to the house, very limited people, and the others were outside. Fatima to Zahra cried and said, Father, how quickly have the Muslims forgotten you? How quickly have they left you? Ala la'natullahi ala al-qawm al-zalimin wa saya'lamu alladhina ghalamu ayya munqalibin yanqalibun. Oh Allah, for the sake of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, for the sake of the Holy Prophet, as tonight is the night when he left this world, oh Allah, hasten in the reappearance of the Prophet Muhammad. Oh Allah, remove all the problems that the Muslim world is facing today. Oh Allah, protect all of our holy sites, especially in Iraq and Syria. Oh Allah, protect all of our Zaireen that have now gone for ziyarat. Oh Allah, there are many people who have asked us to pray for them. Oh Allah, accept the du'as of all the people who have asked to pray for them. Oh Allah, there are many people who are unwell. Give them shifa for the sake of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh Allah, there are many people going through problems in Iraq, in Syria, in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, in Kashmir, in Yemen, in Bahrain, in Nigeria, in Burma. Oh Allah, remove all the problems from the Muslim world. Oh Allah, we want to see Jannatul Baqi and Jannatul Mu'alla rebuilt. Oh Allah, hasten in the reappearance of the 12th Imam to rebuild Jannatul Baqi. Oh Allah, there are many people across the globe who are going through difficulties. Remove all the problems from the Muslim world. Oh Allah, there are many people present here. Accept the du'as of all the people that are present. Oh Allah, the people who are serving in this Imam Bargah, accept their services to yourself and to Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم بحق محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. الله